What's up, you guys? It's Kenyatta Victoria here, back for another video. And today, as you can see from the title, we're gonna be doing something a little more fun today. I recently just finished binge watching Moesha, like literally yesterday. And so I was thinking, instead of doing like a review, just because, you know, everybody's probably already seen the show or is currently watching the show, so I thought it would be fun to do like a character breakdown. So let's just get right into it. I don't want to waste you guys' time, and let's get started. Let's just start off with Dorian. So okay, I'm just gonna go simply based off character. I'm not gonna go off like, you know, personal, real people. But yeah, so let's start with Dorian. His character was just a lot, all over the place. I just personally feel like we really didn't need his storyline. I feel like the family was already good, but with Dorian, I feel like he was very childish. He was very selfish. He was just really schemy. Like he did a lot of stuff, and granted, I know he had a lot of baggage that came with him and just his trauma and stuff like that, but I just feel like his storyline was so not necessary. I didn't really care for Dorian that much. He was so annoying to me. Like, I was not feeling Dorian at all. I didn't like his demeanor with his family. I didn't like how he treated people. And I was just like, I guess, like, Dorian, I feel like we could have lived without Dorian, honestly. Let's see, the next person I have is Miles. So I really, y'all don't understand how much I wish we could have like given more character development to Miles, just because I really liked his character as like the younger sibling, and it reminded me so much of like me and my sister are 7 years apart, and like that large age gap to when, you know, your little sibling is basically like, they look up to you and they're like, oh, like they want to be with you, and they would care about if you guys spend time together, no matter how much, you know, they mess with you or you guys argue. Would have given Miles more character development and more time to grow as a character, because, you know, he started out so young, like he was a little boy, and now he's becoming like a teenager and stuff, and I feel like it would have been interesting to kind of see like how his life would have turned and stuff like that. So the next character I have is Kim, and so I loved Kim so much. She was so funny. She's so funny. I can't wait to watch the Parkers. Let me know in the comments if you guys want like a character breakdown of the Parkers, because I'm definitely gonna be watching. That's gonna be like my first time fully like sitting down watching the Parkers. But I really loved Kim. I just loved her whole character, because we all have that friend that's like, you know, unapologetically them, and it was just so fun. Like, she was so funny. Like, all her jokes, her comedic timing was on point all the time. She was really funny. And yeah, I just really appreciated her character, because it was like, you know, that homegirl that's just like, that's just like themselves all the time, and doesn't care what people think about them, and doesn't care what, you know, people have to say about how they act. And I really appreciated Kim's character. I loved Kim so much. She's so funny, and yeah, 10 stars for Kim. The next person I have is Q. So let's talk about Q. Really liked his character. I liked, you know, how smooth he was, even though he looked very grown to be like, you know, 15, 16, but I really liked the chemistry that him and Moesha had. Like, I feel like it was just super duper genuine and organic, and they supported each other, and they shared dreams together, and I just feel like they were like the perfect like teenage love. Like, you know, when you're in love and you don't care what your parents say, and if you don't care if people don't like him, like you like him, and he's different when he's around you. Like, I just really enjoyed his character. I like that they made him a producer and a rapper. He was a bad boy. He had a mouth on him. He was very reckless, and, you know, made Moesha do things that she shouldn't be doing. But I don't know, I just really liked his character. He was dangerous. he was dangerous, and I appreciated that, their chemistry. I loved him and Moesha. Every time they were on camera, it was just like, oh. So yeah, I really like Q. The next person, let's talk about Niecy. I really liked Niecy's character. I remember watching an interview, and Shar Jackson was like, you know, Niecy was only supposed to be on the pilot episode and she became like a full-time character. And Niecy was so funny. She was always like, you know, trying to get a guy's attention. I didn't like how they always made her the butt of the joke, but they all just joned on each other. But I just want my sister to be happy. Like, I feel like they could have given her like a more serious love interest in the show, because I just want her to be happy. But she was super duper funny. Her outfits were always cute. Her hair was always on point. Everybody's hair was always on point. Really liked Niecy. I liked her and Mo's dynamic, especially in the later seasons, just because of, you know, you have that friend that, like, you know, you guys joke around with each other, but you guys can still be serious with each other. She was super fun. We all have that friend that's like, you know, that's kind of all over the place, but you love them anyway. And so I really liked her character. And yeah, now we're getting into like my elite gang. Let's talk about Hakeem. I loved Hakeem so much. I loved his character. Watching this, like, as I got deeper and deeper into the seasons, it really made me miss Lamont Bentley even more, because I don't know, I really liked Hakeem. He was so funny. He was hilarious. Like, his lines did not miss. Like, the comedic timing that he had was perfect. He was so funny. And I really appreciated his character as, like, you know, this young black man who's just like trying to find his way and make a better life for himself and, you know, better himself. And I love storylines like those where you have that friend that's kind of like a part of your family, but they're not blood, but they're still basically like family to you. I loved how, you know, Moesha's parents treated him. I loved how it was just like he was genuinely family. I really appreciated how he was genuinely family. I loved watching his growth. I loved watching him make mistakes. I loved watching him have victories, all of that. I really appreciated him. Did I think that him and Mo should be together? No, because, you know, I don't know, because half of me was like, I kind of like the brother sister. I love the genuine brother sister type of narrative that writers like to paint. I love the, like, we grew up together but we're like just friends. But also I love seeing, you know, when that friendship one day turns to something more. That's so cute to me. I love storylines like those. But yeah, I really, either way, even if they were together or not, I loved him and Moesha's relationship. I loved their chemistry. I loved how they were able to joke with each other and like be genuine best friends. And even if they were, like, if they want to take that next step, they were still so cute. Like, I just really love Hakeem. He was definitely like one of my favorite characters. I loved him so much. He was so funny. And yeah, rest in peace to Lamont Bentley. So my next character that I want to talk about is Dee, and I love Dee. When I tell you, like, first of all, she always looked good. She never missed a beat. Like, hair was always laid, outfits was always cute. Like, she was so, like, she's gorgeous. First of all, love seeing a gorgeous dark-skinned mom that, like, you know, lays down the law, is super fun, and is still like able to give her stepkids advice, because, you know, as we know the storyline, Dee was Mo and Miles' stepmother. And so I loved how she really like was a mother. Like, she still took on a motherly role and, you know, was still laying down the law, even when Moesha was trying Dee, she was still like, you know, at the end of the day, I love you and I want to be there for you. Moesha didn't want to accept it at the time. She still gave her all as a mom into this family and just being the best she could be. And like, she really had the house in order. Well, let me tell y'all something. She had the house in order. I don't care. She's definitely one of the best TV moms that I've seen, because I really love her. Like, that was my sis. Like, Dee was my girl. She never gave terrible advice. She was always on point. Like, Dee was always right. And I love Dee so much. So, honorable mention, let's talk about Anndale. I loved Anndale's character. I can't wait to see like more of her character on the Parkers. I love those adults that kind of like take other kids as like their own kids, like when they're away from their parents. Like, Adele was definitely like a mom away from the moms, and so she was still giving the kids advice, but I feel like she related to them more on like a younger perspective, because she was still trying to figure her life out with dealing with men and her business and just being a woman. And she was just showing like Mo and Kim and Niecy, like, you know, the do's and don'ts of like adulthood and womanhood. So I really appreciated Anndale's character. And so let's get into the top 2. Let's talk about Frank. Let's talk about Frank, because Frank was a lot. Frank was a lot to deal with. Frank was all over the place. I liked his character. I feel like Frank was very much so out of touch and stuck in time, and he was a very traditional man. Like, he put Moesha on a double standard than he did the boys, and I feel like he was definitely out of touch. But I did appreciate their daddy-daughter relationship, because it was very up and down. He said some things, she said some things. Like, they were definitely a roller coaster of a relationship. But I really enjoyed Frank's character just because he was funny. He was very much so I feel like he was just like an out of touch father trying to discipline his kids but still understand them. And his character was very complex. His character had a lot of layers, and I feel like he was still trying to figure himself out while trying to raise children. And I feel like that's relatable for a lot of parents and their relationship with their kids. Like, they're still just people trying to figure themselves out and yet still trying to raise children. So I liked Frank's character. He was a lot. He was so annoying at times. He was out of pocket at times, and yeah, he was just a lot. But I appreciate his character. And now we're gonna get to the star, literally the star of the show, literally the star of the rank. Let's talk about Mo to the E to the hey, Moesha. So it's so much I want to say about Moesha, because she was a lot. Moesha had a lot going on. Moesha, first of all, let's talk about this. First of all, Moesha was the queen of casual dating. She was the queen, like the queen of casual dating, because my sis always had a boyfriend, but it really wasn't her boyfriend for real, but that was just who she was with at the moment, or, you know, talking to for like a few episodes. And then yeah, so kudos to her. She was really a pimp. Like, she really had game. She really had all these dudes like wrapped around her finger. Moesha was a lot. Her character was so complex, because there will be times where I wanted to slap Moesha silly. Like, it was so many times when Mo was selfish, she was rude, she was sneaking off, she was doing things that caused a reaction. Like, when her and Frank would be beefing with each other, I really like had to look at it like, well, sis, you did this. And that's why he's so overprotective, because you're not giving him much of a reason to trust you because of all the things you're doing. But then there were some things where I was just like, I'm like, Frank, you're overreacting. Mo isn't, like, it's really not that bad if she's wearing this, if she has this on, if she's acting like this, like, it's really not that bad. As a character, we all have a friend like Moesha. Moesha was all over the place. She was super controlling, but I feel like her intentions were good most of the time. Where, you know, she'll be in people's business a lot, but I feel like for most of the time it was for the right reasons, because she just wanted to be there for people. She wanted to help people, and she wanted people to know that she cared about them, and that's why she was always in their business, trying to help them out and trying to, you know, figure out schemes and stuff to get things worked out. And yeah, I really love Moesha's character. First of all, Brandy is that girl, period. She's that girl. She, from the looks, the braids, her style, like her voice. I did not like that they made it seem like that Moesha just could not sing. I'm like, y'all need to stop doing my sis Brandy, but whatever. But yeah, I really enjoyed Moesha's character. I loved seeing her character development. into kind of like this little girl who was she was so boy crazy and just making dumb decisions. And you know, I didn't like that she was being so rude to D. I hated that because my sis D just wanted to help and be a part and all that stuff. I hated that she was so disrespectful to D at times, but loved watching her grow up into a young woman and, you know, really figuring life out and making her own decisions and doing things that even though people were like, I think you should make this decision, she like stuck with her gut and made her own decisions and really showed that she is like a woman now and that she can do things on her own and that she's ready for the next step in her life and moving on to the next chapters in her life, whether it was, you know, going to different schools, going to college, not going to college, you know. And it was really good to look at, because as someone like me who's growing up and young girls who are growing up and young black girls at that, it's just like, wow, like this is real life. Like, it was so relatable between growing up and figuring things out and touching on subjects that, you know, we don't really talk about and stuff like that. So I loved Moesha's character. I love that she was a journalist. Woo woo, woo woo. I love that she was a journalist because, you know, as you guys know, I am a journalist. I loved that she was so passionate about humanitarian work. I love that she, you know, always said what was on her mind, always stood up for herself. I loved that about Moesha. And yeah, she was just like super feisty, super funny. She was so funny, has style, beautiful girl, like all of that. I loved that. And so even though Moesha got on my nerves, Moesha got on my last nerve so many times where I was just like, girl, mind your business. I really was looking at the TV. Me and my sister would look at the TV and be like, mind your business, please. But other than that, I really loved Moesha. I loved her character. And overall, this show is so good. I'm definitely going to watch this again probably one day. I'll probably just have it on, like turn it on. But it was so good. I loved watching it from like start to finish. And it was just like back to back. I was really binging this show. And yeah, I love this family. I love the representation of the family because it didn't become dramatic till the end, but most of the episodes were like really lighthearted, really funny, touched on like simple, like regular teenage topics, and I really enjoyed it. It was such a fun show. I loved when they did like kind of paying homage to like other shows like Lucy or The Cosby Show or Young and the Restless. I really thought it was really funny. And yeah, the writers did such a good job on this show. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments where you would rank these characters. I'm really curious to see you guys' opinion on the show and the characters and all of that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.